Hey everyone, I'm back. So Andrew Plush has been hyping up the fourth FNAF Plush movie for a minute now. After seeing Theodore's plan, I was honestly pretty hyped to see this. I finished watching the live premiere yesterday, and I even finished my review, but I was re-watching the original review I made on this film, and it was a bit too harsh. It was also before I was aware of some issues that the film had. I'm still gonna post that review after I release this one as sort of a bonus, because I still feel like that review had some critiques that I think are necessary to bring attention to. But besides that, the movie honestly grew on me, so I will be focusing on mostly the positive aspects of the film. But anyways, let's dive in.
The movie kicks off with a glitchy version of the studio logo, which was cool. Off the bat, we get another scene with the scammers. It seems like a tradition to have this group in every film, which I like. These guys are a lot of fun, but obviously they are dealing with the loss of Sharky, and I gotta say I like that we don't see a flashback scene of their initial reaction. Obviously, Sharky is a close friend of theirs, so we can guess what their reaction was. I like that it starts right when Theodore gets the multiverse remnant, and seeing how they're holding up after they found out about his death. But anyways, they discuss needing the Fazbears for this multiverse situation, and they propose the idea of talking to them about it at Sharky's funeral. But that never ends up happening, because I'm guessing there's nothing they can really do. But it seems that they don't even attempt to do anything about what's going on right now. I'll get into that later though. We see a few reactions of people seeing the multiverse sky, and the visuals are honestly some of the best edited in the series. They look pretty sick. And then, we see Toy Freddy and Puppet for the first time since mid-season 4. We take a look at their new house, which is clearly a hotel room, but hey, it works. And then, Theodore disappears right as he's about to kill them. We saw this part in the trailer, so at this point I was just waiting to see where he actually went. They go back home to discuss this, and they basically just accept their fate. I mean, Freddy and Foxy both have superpowers. Why not attempt to find out what's going on? Why not file a police report? They could have done the bare minimum. I guess you could argue they have no chance, but it's better than doing nothing. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but Walker, one of my favorite characters, expresses how he regrets everything he did for Theodore and wants to help them stop him. We saw him contemplate cutting Theodore off throughout season 4, but he doesn't pull through with it until he actually gets the remnant because he didn't know how powerful it actually would be. Anyways, he's a part of the group now apparently, which makes him the first puppet in the Fazbear group. He turned to the good side pretty fast, which is kind of disappointing considering I enjoyed him as a villain. But I can't say it doesn't make sense. I'm honestly fine with this. El Chip and Toy Bonnie are still beefing it. I was looking forward to seeing what direction this conflict would be going in. I still think the Sharky death was really well written, and this is the first actual civil beef in the series that actually makes sense. It's definitely not anything like that Freddy and Foxy beef that lasted 2 seasons. Anyways, they accept their fate, and decide to move on with their lives. Theodore appears in a black void place, which is later revealed to be a part of the multiverse headquarters, and we get our introduction to Volder, the multiverse god. He goes through the entire lore of the multiverse and basically sets up the rest of the movie. A little long, but necessary to understand what's going on later in the film. Theodore gets offered a job at the headquarters, which he accepts, and that's basically it for Theodore. He kind of just gives up on killing the Fazbears, but only because he doesn't want to go back to prison, since one of his goals was to live a better life. So this makes sense for his character, and he's still one of my favorites. Just a bit of a shame he isn't going to be the big villain. We jump right into another new character, Lefty. His introduction could have been a bit less out of nowhere and random, but the Vegas shots are really cool looking. Love the change of scenery. Freddy and Vanny help set up Sharky's funeral, and Bonnie offers to help. Freddy claims they don't need any help and thanks Bonnie for offering, but Bonnie refuses to take no for an answer, which later in the movie we find out that he feels left out of the group. This is supposed to be setting up some sort of character redemption arc for Bonnie, which I'm all for, but they didn't really do it in the best way, because they ended up having Freddy become a jerk again. Later in this argument here, Freddy brings up all of Bonnie's insecurities and his worst moments, for pretty much no reason. Not sure why they're going this direction with Freddy's character again, and I was hoping that was the only bad scene we get from Freddy. because he actually became a little bit humble and decent in season 4. We are then visited by a scene of Sneetch licking and sniffing a toilet, which was apparently thrown out to the dumpsters by Toy Freddy, which is why he's sniffing it. This character randomly became really weird, not like he was an important character to begin with, but just We are then visited by a scene of Sneetch licking and sniffing a toilet, which was apparently thrown out to the dumpsters by Toy Freddy, which is why he's sniffing it. This character randomly became really weird, not like he was an important character to begin with, but just really random. Lefty is currently looking for Toy Freddy, and smacks the location out of Sneetch, and then heads on over to the funeral. The funeral scene was really nice looking. I love the way the candle reflects on everyone's faces at different points in this scene. The set designs and cinematography were really nice in this film. George Walker volunteers to sing a song at the funeral, which is a bit out of character for Walker in my opinion. He's kind of transitioning from more of a serious character to a comedic one. Not sure if I enjoy this direction for Walker, but the scene itself was humorous. Lefty crashes the funeral and demands Toy Freddy. Lefty is probably my favorite new character from this film. He stands on business and has positive aspects to him as well. He's a great addition to the group. He claims that Toy Freddy is not from this universe, and he needs to go back to his original, but they're very vague about this. We are kind of left with no explanation on how he got here. I hope we learn more about this later on in the series, but yeah, they could have explained a little more about how he's in the wrong universe. Toy Freddy ends up getting taken to the Multiverse headquarters after Lefty learns that the Fazbears killed Springtrap. We are then introduced to Glitchtrap, Springtrap's father and Lefty's boss. He is angered by this news and immediately wants to see the Fazbears. This is apparently the new big villain, which was a bit disappointing to me only because I wanted to explore Theodore as a villain a little more. But Glitchtrap has potential as a villain and maybe we just need time to settle with him. We then see the Fazbears just kind of accepting their fate again and laying around the house when their friend just got kidnapped in front of them. They're pretty lazy. We get yet another Bonnie and Freddy argument, all because Bonnie wanted to watch Star Wars. Freddy says Bonnie needs to grow up and stop mooching off of him because he pays for everything and Bonnie doesn't appreciate the things he does for him. Freddy is constantly bringing this exact topic up, and at completely random times for no reason. Why was this argument even a thing? And then Freddy kept going on about how celebrity life is super stressful and he's tired of taking pictures with fans, going on late night shows, and claims he makes too much money. So yeah, that's the end of me liking Freddy's character. Not sure why they decided to make him egotistical yet again. I mean, he's the main character. Why is he unlikable? What's the point? And it seems like he came back even worse this time. The worst this character has ever been. But yeah, this argument was stupid, and they're basically sacrificing Freddy's character to do a character arc for Bonnie, which is not how this should be done at all. El-Chip gets taken home from questioning by Julio and then has major PTSD once he mentions Theodore. This was a really cool scene and we see how traumatized he truly is from him being a slave in season 4. Really good writing. We then see some of Glitchtrap's backstory of when his son was first born. His wife doesn't want to have the kid, but Glitchtrap does, and Glitchtrap claims he's willing to leave his multiverse job for this kid. He says he doesn't even want to work there anymore if he can't be in charge. The wife agrees to keep the kid, but then takes him to a random universe in the middle of the night. This angers Glitchtrap, which causes him to kill his wife. This felt a bit extreme. I guess he just didn't love his wife that much. Glitchtrap arrives at the Fazbear's house, and attempts to kill them, but doesn't realize that Freddy and Foxy have powers. So he decides to take his revenge out on Toy Freddy by sending him to a random torture universe. Lefty has no idea where they went, so he takes everyone to Volther and asks for help with finding Toy Freddy. Volther claims he can't do anything about this because this is one of the skills that he chose not to learn for the sake of the multiverse. But I feel like knowing where all your own employees are would not affect the multiverse at all. We then see a flashback of Volther back when he first started his job. This whole flashback felt random to me, but the universe fading away was well done. He then unmasks himself, and appears to be a variant of the 3 Foxies, which is pretty cool. Glitchtrap walks in and says he won't reveal where Toy Freddy is at, so Volther fires him, and they all set out to look for Toy Freddy themselves. Everything is going good, and they're all splitting into teams, but Freddy nearly leaves the entire mission so that he can go on his late night talk show at 8 o'clock. How narcissistic do you have to be to skip out on saving your dying friend to go do an interview? Really disappointing coming from Freddy's character, but I'm not surprised. Freddy is the first person to travel to another universe, and he ends up in the damn back rooms. This scene was really cool. I'm digging all the 3D animations in this film. Andrew is truly stepping it up. Cool ass scene. Freddy and Lefty end up in a food universe. This scene was pretty interesting. There are a lot of creative ideas in this segment of the movie. We then see Foxy and Phantom Foxy quite literally go inside a universe of the real Five Nights at Freddy's game. This scene was fire. Such a cool idea, and really well done. George Walker and Nightmare Foxy travel to a Whisper universe, which made for an entertaining and funny scene. Bonnie and Pig Patch meet 2022 Freddy, who apparently has made no character development since. He's still the exact same 3 years later. Unbelievable. This Frost Bear and El Chip 3D animated scene was probably my favorite one visually. This scene looked great. Apart from the floating presents, this scene was damn near perfect in my opinion. Really fun idea to have a Freddy Claus too. Freddy and Lefty end up in an animated Gorilla Tag universe too. I knew that Andrew did these types of animations, but I never got around to fully watching them. This went past my expectations for these animations, and this was actually really well done. But anyways, they find Toy Freddy and rescue him. The timer for the weapons was about to go off, which I will say I am a bit disappointed that we couldn't see it actually happen. But overall, the multiverse stuff was super cool. Toy Bonnie stayed back from saving their dying friend to manipulate Julio into thinking El Chip willingly killed Sharky. I loved this El Chip and Toy Bonnie conflict, but this kind of brings it down for me. This is just doing too much. I mean, you don't know what your friend is going through right now, or if he's dead or not, but Toy Bonnie just ignores that fact, and convinces the scammers that El Chip is a horrible person. Kind of takes away from Toy Bonnie's character in my opinion. This was not needed. Glitch Trap teams up with Theodore, which I'm super happy that we get to see more Theodore in this film. We are then met with yet another Glitch Trap flashback. I get that this is a new character and we need to learn his backstory to feel connected to him, but I feel like shoving his entire life into a 2-hour movie just doesn't work very well. This flashback scene is very boring if I'm being honest, and could have definitely been left out. We already find out later what Glitch Trap's motives are, so this scene was just filler. Pig Patch and Bonnie have a serious talk at Toy Freddy's party, and I will say that I enjoy Pig Patch in this scene. He knows when to be serious and not always be comedic. And then we see Glitch Trap as the multiverse remnant, but we didn't actually get to see when he actually consumed it. It just sort of happened, I guess. But I also enjoy the fact that we don't have to see someone searching for Remnant again like we've seen dozens of times. Glitch Trap fights Volder and actually kills Volder, which makes him the new multiverse god. He then finds out Theodore was attempting to kill Springtrap too, which causes Glitch Trap to send him back down to his universe where he ends up getting arrested immediately. This part of the movie kind of felt like lazy writing to me in some parts, but overall it was a cool fight scene, and fun to watch. El Chip has another PTSD scene, and I really like this one. One of the best scenes from this saga. Freddy and Vanny are seemingly being built up again in this film, which like I've said before, I don't agree with this. Just keep Freddy and Chica together, and let Vanny move on. But I guess these two just have to be with each other. Vanny tries to calm Toy Bonnie down, which ends up having El Chip misread the situation, and then they end up fighting. This is what I want to see from this beef. Keep it between themselves, not manipulating other people over this conflict. But Glitch Trap teleports and locks Vanny in a cage, but he drops the keys by accident, and then we see the battle with Freddy, Foxy, and Glitch Trap. This was a really cool scene to me, because I enjoy seeing everyone using their superpowers for once. It was pretty short though, but they are under the impression that they killed Glitch Trap, only for the viewer to find out he is still alive. He crawls over to Vanny, who is still screaming for Toy Bonnie's help, but apparently he has hearing loss because he can't hear Vanny screaming right next to him. Long story short, Vanny dies before anyone could save her, and Glitch Trap teleports away. This was the best death scene in the series in my opinion. No corny last words, or bad acting in this scene, just pure emotion. Really well done, and a sad ending to Vanny's character. To cut this review short, the entire ending of this movie was wonderfully done. As soon as Glitch Trap ends their universe, The entire ending of this movie is super entertaining and I really enjoy the scenes of the universe fading. The stakes are super high and I'm fully invested. Theodore dies, and then the movie ends. Wow, this was probably one of my favorite projects from Andrew Plush. Not sure where it ranks compared to previous Andrew Plush movies, but it's probably either his best or his second best. The writing could have used some work in certain scenes, but overall, I'm feeling an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. Good work, and be on the lookout for my other review where I go more in depth with my criticisms. I wanted to redo my review since I felt I was a bit harsh in that video, but I'll still post it since some of those critiques were still valid and should be brought up. Thanks for watching, bye.